This VTuber has been very weird and creepy towards a number of other VTubers. Let's get into it. So all of this starts with this post made by IC Lotus who goes by Loti on Twitter, and this was posted December 16th. And as of filming is December 21st, so things are still coming out. Awareness post. So I normally don't do this type of shit about people, but after that, I ain't fucking around. This person at Pokey_VT was supposed to be a client, nothing more. Something business related. He wanted to commission me after Thanksgiving, but ... things kind of became odd. So here are some DMs between Pokey and Lodi, where Pokey is saying, "Hi Lodi, are you doing comms in your coffee? And if so, care to give me the details." This started November 25th. Lodi says, "Yes, I still am." Pokey says, "Hell yeah." And Pokey says, let's see, I was looking at the flat color. What's the price for bust to full body?" Lodi gives their prices, with bust being $30, waist up being $45, a full body being $55. And Pokey asks, same for full shade too, or are they more? Lodi gives the prices for full shade being $40 for a bust, $50 for a waist up, $65 for a full body, and prices for line art, and writing background $10 to $20 and extra characters $15. But if you don't have a design, then it's a different story, which I can still do. Then Pokey says, "Okay, sounds good. So I just need my ref, and then you do the rest for whatever one I pick them." And Lodi sent a graphic of their prices and stating, "I do refs as well if you ever need it." Pokey says, "Can I show you mine, or does it matter what it looks like?" Lodi says, "Sure, you can show me." And Pokey says, "One sec." Lodi writes, "So after he showed me his ref, which I thought it was cute, he asked for my Discord so we can keep in touch. Mind you, I don't be on Twitter like that, so I don't mind people talking to me on there since I'm mostly active on there. But after we spoke a bit while I waited." So here are the DMs back and forth in Twitter DMs, where Lodi is thanking Pokey for being interested, and Pokey is asking, "Can we be Discord friends while we're at it? So it's better to talk than on here if that's okay." Lodi says, "Sure, give me your Discord." And Pokey says, "Just let me know when you send it since I'm not on my PC right now, and thanks for this." Then they moved over to talking on Discord, also on November 25th. Lodi is saying, "Hello." Pokey says, "I can get back with you on the art after Thanksgiving." And Lodi says, "Of course, you can message me whenever." So the conversation right now seems very normal, very professional. Then Lodi writes, "So after all that ... he mentioned about being friends on Steam and whatever so we can play games, which I'm kind of okay with, but I was being friendly since I was waiting if anything, so I didn't mind small talk to see if I vibe or not until it got a bit weird. He was talking to me about how he had a crush on one of my friends and such, only knowing her for a few months. So I was just chill, but at the same time, I did bring up the fact about the commission until he seemed to forget about it because he asked to hang out and we spoke." So in the Discord DMs, this is now on December 14th, Pokey is like, "Why would you stream something like that?" And Lodi says, "I mean, playing the game." And Pokey says, "Well, what time is okay? It is Sunday, so I'm free all day." And Lodi says, knowing me, maybe 5 p.m. What are you doing all day till then on a Sunday?" And Lodi says, "Trying to get more commissions and arting." And Pokey says, "Oh, okay. No, you can draw me if you want." And Lodi says, "Well, you did say you were going to commission me sometime after Thanksgiving. I've just been quiet about it, lol." And Pokey says, "I did? Oh, right, I remember." And Lodi says, "Yeah." And Pokey says, "Well, I don't mind getting it with it look really good with your looks and, well, my cute self since everyone says it's cute." To me, this already reads so many red flags from Pokey. Lodi is just, saying, "Oh, trying to get commissions and doing art." And Pokey's like, "Oh, you can draw me if you want." Me as an artist, it's always a humongous red flag if the person that I'm talking to hits me with the, "Oh, you can draw me," because to me that rings alarm bells in my head like, oh, is this person going to try to solicit free art from me? If you're an artist, you probably know, you've probably had people in your life try to solicit free art from you because you're an artist and they think, oh, it's free because you're just like drawing something, right? Like, I don't need to pay for your services. So that already to me rings some red bells. And then Pokey being like, "Well, I don't mind getting it with you because you look good." Like, this is like a whole separate thing with like VTubers, right? Because it is in like VTuber culture to kind of get commission art of you and other people, but there's like a polite way to do it and a weird way to do it. And to me, this kind of seems a little odd because that's not what Lodi was asking. Lodi was like, "Hey, you did say you wanted to commission me. What about that?" So that to me, but maybe I'm a little cynical right now. Then Lodi writes, "After bringing it up with him about it, we spoke about the commission and I thought he wanted something friendly, but instead it was something lewd, which I don't mind it. I never had that type of interaction before, but I questioned a bit and kept it friendly." So in the DMs, this is still on the 14th, Pokey says, "Wait, let me see your ref then. I never got to see it." And Lodi says, "My ref? You mean like my VTuber?" And Pokey says, "That's what it means, silly." And Lodi says, "Oh, I didn't know." And then Lodi sent a reference photo and their VTuber model is so pretty. And Pokey says, the things I would do to your sexy ass. I'm so sorry. I'm just reading it as I am seeing it. And Lodi's like a little flabbergasted, and Pokey says, not joking, by the way. And like, look, I say stuff like that sometimes to my friends, right? Like, hee, like, wow, you're so hot. But then the not joking, by the way, I'm a little like bombastic side eye. Like, you don't know Lodi like that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys just started talking. To me, that's a bit of a red flag as well. And then Pokey says, might just let you draw something spicy for the commission. And Lodi says, LOL, like what? Pokey says, it's up to you. And Lodi says, I'm assuming you want a commission of me and you? Safe footwork or NSFW? And Pokey says, I never had an NSFW one before. Never really got it. And Lodi says, fair. Pokey says, do I need to find a reference for you to go by? And Lodi says, you can if you want, depends on what it is. And Pokey says, well, what would you like? Or is anything okay? So I can know what to look for. And Lodi says, the better question is, you want that or the siren side? And they send another reference of their model, and it looks like the siren mode, right? And Pokey says, don't make me act up on you. Lodi's again a little flustered, and Pokey says, you see my OC, so what do you think? And Lodi says, a whole cutie, LOL. The siren side is more of a dom and a thirsty blood girl, so like, yeah. And Pokey says, yeah, a cutie who's gonna show you how a good pup does his training for his favorite treats. So I think that siren might just get some good treats up her way, all over her beautiful skin, up, down, left, right, all the way back to the dog park. Oh boy. That's a lot to read out loud. And Lodi says, good luck trying, because if anything, she's sucking blood and feeds. And Pokey says, shit, let her put me down a leash around my neck, grab me and tell me you're just my good little pup, huh? Poke. Then I'll be on my knees, up, down, in your lower half like the good pup I am, getting my special treat. And then, Lodi's like, flustered, that's pretty much how it be. And Pokey says, wait, I think I have a good ref to go by. One sec, let me find it. Okay, I found it, and I might be so don't blame me on what I'm about to send. Pokey sends a photo. It is censored out by Discord. And Lodi's like, oh, I like it. And Lodi continues, so legit yesterday, we played a bit and chilled while he's gushing about my friend. He was speaking about how my friend's been following him, but one of them he really likes, so he wanted me to tell her that he followed her, but deleted the message. I deleted the picture I made for him and messaged him on Twitter about how he handled things, but he thought about blocking me, but I wasn't having that. Let alone he messaged my wife because I had vented to her because it was bullshit, showing my wife's screenshot as well. So these are in DMs when Pokey says, I'm not on Discord, but saw the art looks so good. Thank you for that. And Lodi writes, I noticed you deleted your comment on what you said about telling my friend that you followed her, and I wasn't gonna do that. I think the problem with you is that you worry too much on who follows you and not, which is something that isn't good for you at all. As a person who experienced others who worries about that sort of thing, I think it's best for you not to do that at all, or at least try to not worry about it. Let alone, I did ask Redacted if she was in a relationship or not, and she said she is, so I don't think you should worry about her like that. And this is me being honest with you. Pokey responds, for one, I don't like Redacted, so thanks for that. I like Redacted B, since I bought her that gift, that's not how I do it at all. Since you don't know me like that and go off on one thing rather than getting to know me, no hate on it, but don't push that out there. I know you're just speaking on it, but that's not okay to do. Sure, we all do shit that's here or there, but all the shit I went on this year since I made my Twitter had not been it. I'm gonna do me rather than do something that you on about. Who cares for that shit? Because if I did block you as soon as you sent that, but no, I didn't, because I still see you as a friend. Redacted, I don't know anymore since whatever you told her, because that's not who I like. It's Redacted B. Girl, I just been off and on with shit, so just do spill that don't need to be spilled, okay? You're a good friend, okay? Try not to lose another one, okay? That's all I can do, okay? And thanks for the art. It came out good, so if you ever want to play like we did, let me know. Okay, friends are hard to come by, and glad I made one in you. Have a good night. And I'm sorry if me reading that came out a little sporadic. There was not a single punctuation in that giant chunk of words, so I was trying to read it the best I could. Lodi says, you legit told me that you have a crush on her, dude. Let alone called me her name and gushing about her, but alright. So don't even sit here and honestly try to switch it up, but know what? I'm gonna keep my distance from you at that point, lol. Pokey says, you do you, just delete both posts you at me on, but we can still follow each other, but you do you, okay, have a good night. And okay, me reading this is like solidifying what Lodi was saying about like, oh, you care too much about who follows you and who doesn't. Like, again, another thing about, oh, we can still follow each other even though we're beefing. Like, why is there such an emphasis on followers here? Lodi says, since you want to unfollow me over some shit, that's fine, but you better delete that gift I made for you. Why? Because I'm gonna change it and sell that design, because what you did is straight up bullshit. After the fact, this was supposed to be a client and artist convo, not me trying to be that close with you. It was only meant for business, so until that, you enjoy the rest of your night. And this was the message that Pokey had sent to Lodi's wife, writing, so you unfollow me because your girl, even though she told she has a boyfriend, said whatever she said to you, even though I just spoke my truth. Is that why all I did is tell how how it is. Sorry to get her all up or something. I'm sorry. The lack of punctuations just makes it a little hard for me to read it. Lodi continues, so more to the story after that. I don't mind being friends to my clients, but please, and I mean please, don't come off as weird at all. Because the whole thing alone, I'm here for business and I feel something genuine, but that alone seemed he wanted free art from me. He even has a serious condition that I will not say, but I don't know if it's true or not. But even then, don't bother. The fact I tell you the price of the commission and then you turn around saying to my face you will do it, but decided to go to someone else is a bit off to me. Like, I made my price low for a reason and I don't mind being fair. A lot of people can tell you I do that a lot. After this is a lesson for me to know better about this sort of situation. And I will be selling the design I made for him. He has no rights to it anymore. And I will say, by the way, on top of this, right? Like, I feel so bad for Lodi because this guy was so weird. Lodi was approached by Pokey for strictly a commission. There is a strict, like, artist commissioner boundary here, right? Where like you are just hiring Lodi for a service to make art. And they just were like trying to weasel their way into a friendship, right? Trying to like get their Discord and then, get their Steam to play some games. And then like, what if we do like an art piece together, but it's free because I don't want to pay you. Like, it's just pushing boundary after boundary after boundary. And I don't want anybody blaming Lodi, by the way, like do not. Okay. Like, I'm sure all of us has had somebody like that in our life where they come in and they just slowly like take and encroach on your boundaries more and more and more. And they do it like a little subtly. So sometimes you can't tell off the bat. And then, suddenly all of a sudden you find they're all up in your space and all the boundaries that you've set for yourself are somehow gone. These people are like little weasels. They're really good at doing that. It's just a little slimy. They slowly kind of like inch their way in. You give an inch, they take a mile. I know a whole bunch of people like that. I'm no longer friends with them because obviously I had boundaries that were not respected. And I'm sure all of us at least have interacted with people like that who are really trying to encroach on your space. And then it gets worse because a whole bunch of other people started coming out with their experiences. So I'm going to put this in the chronological order of posts that were made to try to make it a little bit more cohesive. So we have this post also made on December 16th by Slaneth writing, please, for the love of everything, do not message me about an issue you have with somebody else, especially if I'm not involved or even know you like that. You will be ignored by me. I have a lot of patience for a lot of things, but this just doesn't fly with me. I said my piece and I'm sorry you had to go through this, Lodi. Pyrai Light writes, sorry for what you both went through. Lodi doesn't deserve that treatment. All I can say is I had past issues with the same person. Slaneth says, that's terrible. My heart goes out to you and everyone that was affected by this person. And Shigol VT writes, I've actually had the same problem with this exact same person. Mad weirdo. And Slaneth says, I never had any interactions with this person except when he messaged me about my wife. With so much coming to light, I'm glad I never did. I'm so sorry you had to deal with them as well as everyone else who did. Then we have Scully Boo, who goes by Scully, writing, this dude has been giving me weird vibes. I'm sorry you and others had to go through that. And then Lodi made another tweet, also on December 16, writing, so more info has came in. My friend Scullybo has shown me screenshots of his behavior, so here it is. Yeah, no, this shit ain't it. Don't let him in your DMs doing this weird shit for the safety. So here's some DMs between Scully and Pokey on Discord. And Scully says, if you want, and Pokey says, not now, I'm in call, but you still owe me an pick if you want that. And Scully says, is that right to do when you're on call with the girl you're digging? Pokey then says, then why do you do the things you do with others but you have a boyfriend? And Scully says, because I'm allowed to. He knows what I do. I don't hide and I talked about boundaries with him and what I can share now is okay with him. And Pokey says, so you're open? And Scully says, not completely. Unless if it's anything IRL, he's not bothered. Like if I were to see a dude where I'm at right now and F him because they're there, that's a big no. And Pokey says, so online's okay, but IRL is no. And Scully says, yup. And Pokey says, that's effed. And Scully says, how so? Communication on what's okay and not okay was made between the two of us. And Pokey says, so he's okay if he send guys pics of you and they do the same and all kinds of flirt stuff and other NSFW stuff. And Scully says he's fine with that. And Pokey says, what the F? So you're okay if he does the same things. And Scully says, I wouldn't mind, but he isn't comfortable. And then Pokey says, but you are. And Scully says, I am. He's fine with me sharing, but he doesn't exactly want to do the same. Communication is a very big thing in our relationship. No lying, no hiding. And Pokey says, but you're fine with cheating on him. That's what you're doing by what you do, and he's fine with it. You said he won't do it because it's just cheating. Like, who does that? And Scully says, I don't think it's cheating if he knows what I do. Cheating is going behind someone's back. Secrecy. But we have nothing to hide. We don't hide. He's not the most comfortable with his body. It's why he isn't so open to sharing. I'm a little more open than he is. I'm not understanding why this is bothering you. In a relationship of two, we talked and determined what's okay and what's not okay. Why does it bother you now? I told you I have a boyfriend. You asked for my pics. I even told you I don't hide anything from him. Look, and I have to say, everyone's relationship is different, and cheating just means that you are betraying the boundaries that you have set with your partner. In some relationships, watching sussy material virtually is considered cheating. Like one party in the relationship would consider that cheating. In other relationships, you're allowed to watch all the sussy material you want and the other person wouldn't care. But they would view like physically engaging in intimacy as cheating. In some relationships, they don't care if you kiss other people. As long as you don't actually get in bed with them, that's kissing is totally okay. For other couples, kissing is also off the boundaries too, and that would be considered cheating. It differs relationship to relationship. As long as, like what Scully said, communication is there, both parties are aware of what's going on and have clearly identified boundaries of what's allowed and what isn't allowed, that's fine. So I think it's really weird that Pokey's out here like pressing this issue. I could understand maybe why they're concerned in the beginning. If, like somebody was sending them photos when they had a boyfriend, they could I could understand oh, whoa, like, is your partner okay with this? I don't want to be like encroaching on your relationship or like harming your partner in any way. And if they say, oh, my partner's fine with it, like we've discussed, we communicated, and they're totally okay with this, they know about it. But I also think it's weird that they were asking in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like Pokey already had the knowledge that Scully had a boyfriend and had asked for the photos and is still asking for the photos. You know what I mean? Like, in that first screenshot, he was like, oh, don't forget about the pictures. He already knew that Scully had a partner. So I would say your concern about Scully, their relationship, and potential cheating that could be happening is moot point out the window if you're still asking for this type of material. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that invalidates your concern. And then Scully quote retweeted that, writing, at PokeVT, I'm not shutting up this time, dude. His behavior is not okay, LMAO. Look at him flipping his shit when I openly tell him that me flirting is okay to my boyfriend. I'm not hiding shit from my man, and there he goes bitching. Let's not. Chewy Capybara VT writes, OMG, is this still happening? And Scully says, I'm not the only one he's been acting this way to, apparently. Lodi says, speak your shit, queen. And then also on December 16th, Candy Hearts writes, so Pokey VT just recently did this in my DMs as well. Added them because we had moots. He asked if I wanted to hang out and stream and told me he had a crush on a mutual. I called with him. He got art made of us together after a day. Just wanted to be clear, I am not comfortable with him. I was trying to give him the benefit of doubt after he shared that he had a crush on somebody, because maybe he just accidentally overshared. But after seeing that he's done this with others, I'm just not comfy in general and feel gross seeing that he's done this and worse to others. Also, doesn't stream and constantly checks Twitter to see who follows and likes his stuff. I got the vibe he just wanted the number attached to my name, and that's why I got art made of us together after a day of talking. We'll add that he didn't say or do anything sexual towards me, but did with the girl in the thread above and another one, and I just can't stop feeling icked out. Also, again, I would say like getting art with somebody is kind of like a, not intimate, but it's like a sign of friendship, It's like when you go and take pictures with somebody and then post it on your socials. Unless that person's like a freaking celebrity, right? Typically, it's like oh, look, this is my friend. So that's why it's just weird to do that like the day after you just met them and got to know them, that is like a little like weird to me. Uber Twilight writes, oh no, I am so sorry. That is like so super uncomfy. What the hell? It's giving parasocial to an umpteenth degree. I've been in situations like this years before, and God, it's just so uncomfortable. And it's so hard too with wanting to give peeps the benefit of doubt. And Candy said, yeah, the first red flag, I was like, oh, well, surely that it's maybe just an oversharer. Unfortunately, was not the case, and I'm just thankful I was able to clock it for what it was before anything escalated. And then Angelic X Ellie, who goes by Ellie, writes, the fact that all of this is basically about me. I know more were involved as well, but I cannot speak for them. I was very unaware of what was going on until Lodi told me. I have like 3 interactions with this dude, and I feel horrible she had to deal with this. I am very aware that parasocial is mostly in the VTubing community, but never in my life would I think somebody would be parasocial with me. I am very shocked and saddened that this person turned out to be this way. I hope he realizes what he did wrong and learns from what he did. I barely hold grudges and I don't hate people easily. I am in shock mostly. But what did I expect coming from the VTubing community? I cannot stress this enough. Please don't be weird to people online. And I feel so sorry for Ellie for having to go through that, because that is fucked up and not okay at all. So then on December 17th, Lodi continues in their original thread with more information, writing, so more stuff has came up. We have 8 victims that came to me about his behavior, so I will be doing my best to show each victim's post. And out of respect for them, I will keep them anon because they were afraid and didn't want to be point as the blame. On 1, this is the first person who came to me about their experience with Pokey, and as you can see, showing screenshots, I'll let the screenshots speak for themselves. But if you had to go through this way to make another account to avoid stuff, it's saying something about his behavior. So Anon writes, hi Loti, I'm so sorry about your experience with Pokey. Although I didn't have it nearly as bad in terms of the unwarranted and unwanted sexualization for both you and people you know, I frequently felt my boundaries were overstepped, and I know my friend felt that way too. Although ours was more or less just having to deal with slight discomfort about minor issues, we both felt that way. There is somebody else, who I won't name unless they feel like talking about it, who reached out to me and Pokey lied about being in call with them, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry you and Scully had to deal with that. I also started off as an artist and client relationship with Pokey. I remember when he first spoke to me, he mentioned changing his name due to past drama, and I assume it was something along the lines of this. And this was on September 28, 2024 reads, and this is from Pokey. There were a lot of people reporting me because of some rumors going around about me that were not true at all. That's also the reason I changed my name on Twitter and Twitch from PokeyTripXD to what it is. No, because of all that mess. Anon 2. Pokey didn't do anything sexual, but still was giving a creepy vibe around them. Hi, just wanted to say that I appreciate your post about Pokey because I was getting bad vibes when talking with him, and then seeing your post confirmed it for me. Lodi says hello, and my god, did he ever message you or anything? I hope he didn't. Anon 2 says he did. I saw I had mutuals with him, so I followed him back and he messaged wanting to hang out and then said that he had a crush on a mutual. Didn't say anything sexual towards me, but like we called because I gave benefit of doubt and like got art of us together after that. Like it was a singular day kind of crazy. And Lodi says, which mutual, if you don't mind me asking? Because he told me by the name of Redacted. And Anon 2 says, oh, that's awkward because it was definitely also Redacted B. I let Redacted know because I was like, I don't feel comfortable holding in that info. I will also say for you guys, this in this screenshot, the name is visible, but I don't know if that name should be redacted or not, so I'll redact that name just to be safe. Lodi says, oh, interesting, because that's who he brought up on the screenshot because he brought her a gift on Throne. I have the screenshot, hold on. Anon 3. This is going to be a long post, so please bear in mind. This involves a lot of love bombing and guilt tripping. Also, you see how he messages people first, expecting a follow back? To show that he follows them? Yeah, no. A lot of screenshots will be shown. So, Pokey, this was on November 29th, DMs Anon 3, writing, thought you were really cool, so I gave you a follow. Sorry if Twitter didn't show I did that. But hope to get better, know with you, love making new friends. That's just how it was written. Anon 3 says, it does be dumb sometimes, but I saw, so I followed back. And Pokey says, thanks, Redacted, you're cool for that. So this was on December 4th, and this is what Anon 3 sent to Pokey in Discord. Anon 3 writes, I did, but I'm gonna have to set some boundaries because I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I'm sure you're a great person and I've been doing different things because I want to be friends, but there's some things I need to be understood. 1. I asked Redacted what was said because I feel like when you've been on call, it's been very passive aggressive, which I can understand depression and feelings all over the place, but keep in mind, I've only known you since Friday, even if you have known me. I would say Alice's advice is correct. It's probably best to give up because even though me and a boyfriend are broken up, even if I were to start dating again, I only dated guys when I was desperate. My first choice is girls. I would also say, to me, this already reads red flags, not from Anon 3, but for Pokey, right? Like, why does Anon have to set boundaries that basically read about, like, Pokey pursuing them? You know what I mean? Like, the reason Anon 3 would have to set boundaries and say something like, oh, it's best to give up because, like, even though my boyfriend and I are broken up, blah, 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 right? It reads to me like Pokey, out the gate, probably was doing some sort of, like, relentless romantic pursuits that got really overwhelming. About the banner thing, it's very sweet and I do need a banner and would most likely use it, but I want my profile photo and please don't get something expecting me to use it. I don't like that type of pressure. 3. The Elder Scroll game, I eventually bought it just so that you would be happy. But what you did was basically guilt tripping. I've known you since Friday. I penny pinch everything because of how I grew up. Sure, it's only $5, but I'm trying to make time for other friends too, and I'm honestly not that social of a person. I'd be hanging out all the time, which brings me to the next point. 4. Even with my bestest friends, I don't talk to them every day or even every other day. I need space to function and feeling suffocated makes me want to explode. Sorry for typing everything out in a scary format, but while I have felt very honored for you to share your feelings, I need things a certain way for my mental health. I hope you don't hate me after this or blame yourself, but like, I need boundaries. Anon for you is so respectful, but I feel so bad they had to type all this out in the first place. Like, I feel so bad that they have somebody in their life that is like encroaching on their space in such a way that they need to literally like lay it out A to Z for Pokey to be like, yo, chill out on the romantic pursuits, stop guilt tripping me about buying some game, okay? Don't pressure me into using art that you bought me when I didn't ask for it. Like, these are all things that should be self-explanatory for people, but apparently for this bro, it is like over his head. Because why do so many people have issues with him? Like, why is he doing this to everyone? I feel so bad for everyone that's affected by this person. And Pokey says, what the F? Did I do something to you? All I did was ask her stuff is all. What the F? Does everyone just hate me now? I thought we were friends. Are you good? And this is crazy. This is like crazy gaslighting. You guys have known each other for a week, less, probably less, because they said Friday, right? Pokey, You need to chill out. And then look at this like language. Did I do something to you? All I did was this, is this. Does everyone just hate me? Like so much of trying to make himself out to sound like the victim, like gaslighting, you know, like, did I do something to you? All I did was ask her stuff. Like, it's not a big deal. This is giving such narcissist vibes. So then Lodi continues with the screenshots and Pokey continues. I talked to her so I can know what I'm even doing. So she told me I went with it. So are we not friends? I'm not doing any of what you were saying at all. Did you just unfollow me on Twitter? And what is with this like relentless checking of following? Like you would have to actively check to see if a non-3 was following or unfollowing you. Like you don't see the unfollows. And a non-3 says, I am good. I'm just very overwhelmed. Are you good? You were asking love advice to I didn't unfollow. Like Pokey just absolutely flipped shit for no reason. Like if somebody sent me such a detailed message about like how I'm encroaching on their boundaries, I would feel so bad. I would be so apologetic. Like I'm so sorry that my behavior was like hurting you in any way. Like I will take this to heart. But he's just like so defensive. And non-3 says, we can remain friends, but after how you reacted, I want to start from the beginning. I'm removing you from mod from things. I usually don't add people, and that when I express my feelings, I was basically told all of them were wrong. I'm not happy with that. Yeah, stand your ground, Anon. And Pokey says, wasn't trying to lose a friend, by the way, and I didn't act no way. You put all of that out there when I thought everything was fine. I was not expecting you to send what you sent. Like, sure, we can be friends, but the way you said that, who says start over? This is so weird. This is so weird to me. Like, I thought everything was fine. Of course you thought everything was fine because you were the one perpetrating all of this. Anon3 says, that's true. I'm not so sure. I just felt like I was trying to be nice and understanding about things, but felt like I was being gaslit about things. Oh yeah, Pokey is definitely using some sort of gaslighting language. Like, I don't care anything about drama or to even say anything to anyone. I keep private things to myself. But to me, I felt guilt tripped about different things, and then you telling me none of that stuff happened made me realize I let people in too quick. And it was my fault for letting you become a mod so quickly when I don't normally do those things. I have nothing against you, nor will I ever try to slander or unadd, etc., but I might not have as much time for new friends because I require lots of just me time to function. This whole thing stressed me out so much. Pokey says, are you okay, redacted? Because it never guilt tripped you at all. You're in your head. That is gaslighting! All I did was recommend the game for us to play. You didn't have to buy it, and I talked to since she was the one other person that knew you, so went with her to ask stuff. And after our talk, I learned I'm not here and that we're just friends and that's what I want. But then you send what you send and all of that, like chill for a second and get your mind out of where it doesn't need to be. Again, I have a hard time reading what Pokey writes because they do not use punctuations. Like, almost ever. And Anon3 says, no, I'm not okay. I still stand by everything I said, so maybe we're not compatible to be friends either. I'm so glad Anon3 is standing their ground because Pokey is like gaslighting like fuck and guilt tripping and playing the victim. And Lodi, as last of the screenshots, it's seriously a lot to read. And Pokey says, who even says stuff like this? And Anon3 says, me establishing boundaries, I don't know, you can hate me, but I feel everything I said was reasonable. And I agree. Everything Anon said was reasonable. Pokey says there should not be boundaries. Why should there be? Throw this guy out the window. Not literally, but what do you mean there should not be boundaries? That is a horrendous sentence to say. What we're going to do is play games once in a while on your stream or when we can off it and help each other out when we make posts. Like how you did when I was doing that collab with my friend and art, etc. That's all there is to it. That's what friends do. And besides, I kind of have someone in mind, so there's no reason for you to even do what you said since I don't see you like that. This is so weird. This is so fucking weird from Pokey. Like, this sounds like such a transactional thing. Like, oh, you know, you just give me art, ha ha ha, and like we help each other out. That's what friends do, right? And I think for me, like every time people are like, oh, that's what friends should do, or like friends do this, or da da da. Whenever it sounds like they're trying to really convince you to do something you don't want to do, which is exactly what's happening here, right? Like, that's what friends do. That's such a red flag to me because it should not be this difficult to communicate with somebody. And Anon is not the problem. It's because Pokey doesn't want to listen. Like, this is a clear example of somebody who is constantly pushing boundaries. Anon is like, no, like this is how I feel, and Pokey's like, why do you even feel like that? It's all in your head, like da 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 da. Like they're constantly demanding so much out of poor Anon. And why do you feel entitled to all of this? Like genuinely. Anon3 says, I'm gonna be honest, this whole thing was just too much to me. Even trying to say how to remain friends, I'm not interested in that anymore. I feel anything I'm saying is being invalidated. I'm not going to block or unfollow you, but yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave it. I will block or unfollow it if I get spammed though. And this is now Anon's DMs to Lodi. Anon says, I don't have screenshots of other things, just the videos I sent you, which explain myself more. He came on to me really quick, being like, I've watched you since June. June and that he thought he followed but had me bookmark, which is why I only noticed it Friday of when that was. He tried to say I was following him for like weeks, which I immediately sent him a screenshot of me following him back on Friday. By the way, redacted is 17. I don't even message her myself besides when this happened because I was like, what the F is he saying to you, and apologizing that somebody like that is asking a minor for advice on. Like, if I'll like him back. Anon 3 continues, I felt so confused after all of this because I felt love bombed and then suddenly no word, no anything. And he said at the end, he already had his eye on someone else. He has so many cool art friends, so I was worried he'd make something up about me because he did switch his banner to me and put he was my mod and was retweeting everything I said. And even when one of those super cool people I thought was his good friends following me, I messaged that they might not want to do that. I don't want to stir drama if he notices they follow me and blows up at them. And Lodi says, oh my effing god, I'm so sorry that happened. And honestly, the minor part is crazy. Like, that motherfucker is 25 years old. Bro, he's even older than me. What is he doing talking to a minor? He even follows a lolly VTuber, so that's raising question. Anon3 says, the lolly VTuber is questionable. She's my friend, but like, I'm a PG-13 account and I don't specifically talk to her in DMs. I talk in my community Discord. He has a minors do not interact and message her when it clearly says her age to get love advice. Like, I get no ill intentions, but how do you have minors do not interact, then ask for love advice on top of that? Here's another screenshot after he confessed. And by the way, if you guys don't know what MDNI is, it's used in like the VTuber and sometimes the streaming community. It stands for minors do not interact, which means that you are an 18 plus account and that you do not want like people under the age of 18 to interact with you. So yes, it is really weird if you have MDNI in your bio and then you are the one that reaches out to minors. Like, that is weird. That Anon adds a screenshot after he confessed and then writing, all minor like, after he was pissed I wouldn't buy Elder Scrolls, so I called my coworker to play games with me to give an excuse to end call because I felt if I said I was uncomfortable he'd blow up at me. And Lodi says, honestly I did the same. I had to lie saying how somebody was calling me, but in reality I called my boyfriend. He didn't want me to leave, let alone talking about some cringe mess how he wanted to F me and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no. By the way, I feel so bad for Lodi and the other Anon as well. I feel so bad when you have to make excuses and lies to get away from somebody because they're being so weird and they're so volatile in their emotions that you're scared of a bad reaction happening if you were to straight up reject them. That is so scary. That is a scary position to be in. And I feel so bad for anybody who had to endure that from Pokey or anybody else because that is really scary to be in. So then Lodi writes, Anon number 4. Hey, sorry to message you under these circumstances. I first want to say thank you for being so vulnerable with us. I've actually talked to Pokey myself and I feel like he's crossed many boundaries of mine and I don't know. There was just something about him. Second, I'm not really sure what the timeline of everything is, but he texted me back in like October saying he has a girlfriend. So here are DMs between Pokey and Anon 4 on October 22nd. Pokey says hi, Anon says hello. Pokey says, okay, I think I have a girlfriend now. I say think because my mind is nothing but her. Oh yeah, I just do happy lol. And Anon says, oh, congrats. And Pokey says, yeah, thanks lol. I sound so silly right now. And Anon says, no, it's not silly at all. You have every right to be happy and you're allowed to feel that way. And Lodi says, it's no problem at all. And he told me most of the events happened 2 months ago. He added me on November. Anon 5. This was now in September. So this is September 19th. Anon 5 in Discord had written, I just don't feel very comfortable with collabing. The voice chat felt very strange to me and it got cut off. Pokey says, can I ask what was strange about the call and what made you very uncomfortable? I was just being myself like I've been doing with everyone else that I'm a VC with. And Anon says, I really don't want to go over it because I don't want it to sound like I'm picking you apart, which is why I'm backing out of the collab as gracefully as possible. Anon says, hello Lodi, my name is Redacted. I don't mean to take up much of your time, but I wanted to comment on your recent post with Pokey. Similar weirdo story happened to me with them, and only it wasn't about an art comm. We were meeting via Discord voice chat to go over collab options. The entire time they pressured me into turning on the camera because we were both tattoo artists. He turned on his camera to show off, I guess. I was mad uncomfortable because I felt it was strange. He talked about how he knew all these female VTubers and how he mods for a few famous ones. After the call, we made a day for the collab, but I felt so uncomfortable I had to back out of the collab. I'm so sorry that this person treated you that way and wasted your time. I was attempting to find the Twitter DMs, but he's either blocked me or deleted his accounts, which he did for a period. After this incident of me backing out of our collab, he messaged me on Twitter a very similar way he had done to you. Very aggressive, talking about why did you unfollow me, etc. So more DMs. This is also September 19th from Pokey. These are more of the screenshots where Pokey says, but I did do a double check and I'm all good for October 14th. Anon says, I think I'm going to back out after a convo yesterday. I had some time to reflect and I don't think we vibe as much as I'd hoped. Thank you for considering me. So this is a very respectful way, to back out. And Pokey was like, what? Did I do something? And Anon5 says, I just don't feel very comfortable with collabing. The voice chat felt very strange to me and we don't vibe. There's nothing wrong with that. We just don't click and I don't want to fake that during a collab. And this is where Pokey says I was just being myself, like what I do with it all. Some more DMs from Anon5 writing, I appreciate you. I really wish I had more to offer and a few screenshots as most of our interactions was done through VC, but I do remember the interaction because it was very strange, even by normal standards. I would like to clarify I haven't been a streamer long, so I'm not familiar with a lot of non-mainstream VTubers. Pokey explains to me he's a VTuber, but if you are anything like me, you should do some snooping beforehand. I noticed he didn't have any video or clips or a model or anything, so I asked about it. It was a hard deflect where he went on for a good bit about all these female VTubers he knows. He mentioned he doesn't work with male VTubers. A big red flag. Aside from that, we connected because we are both tattoo artists. We don't work together or anything, just happen to have the same profession. The entire time in VC, he is pushing to see my artwork, even going as far to turn his camera on to show off his own work unprompted. That is a little uncomfortable for anyone, I think, especially if you've only just spoken to them for the first time. All the same, he was rude, just pushy and flirty in a weird, beat around the bush kind of way. I didn't think much of it because the goal was to collab, much like your goal of giving a client what they asked for. We said choose a date, which he calls a date, several times and mentions he won't be streaming the collab because he just wants to hang out with a pretty girl. I felt bad because again, he wasn't rude and I felt maybe I was reading the tone wrong. But I had spoken to a friend who told me if I didn't feel good about the collab that I shouldn't do it. So I sent Pokey a message saying I was uncomfortable about the convo and wanted to back out of the collab. Pokey did not take this very well because I also unfollowed him. You can guess where this is going. He demanded answers from me, saying what he did, how he could change and all that. Something you'd expect from a disgruntled ex, which again is weird as since this is still a stranger. He DM'd me on Twitter as well demanding why I unfollowed him. But since then, I've just ignored him because what even is that behavior? Again, I'm sorry this person sidestepped your commission. It's crazy disrespectful in my opinion. He's a certified weirdo. I don't think my story is as severe as yours, so I never said anything, but it's Stuck City all the same. And I don't think it's one of those where it's like, oh, this one, like, my story isn't as good, so I shouldn't talk about it. This is like further proof this guy is a weirdo. I am so sorry to Anon5 for what they had to go through. But yeah, like, they were being so polite with just backing up the commission, you know, being like, oh, we don't really vibe as well as I hoped. I'm just gonna politely back out. And Pokey was just so pushy. Like, why? What did I do wrong? Like, da 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 da. Guy does not know boundaries at all. Lodi says 6 female with a screenshot response from Jasharky writing, this person had DM me wanting to collab with them. We played Stardew and then just seemed awkward. But then they kept getting more and more parasocial with me. I had enough and banned and blocked them from everything. And that's probably in reference to this post that the Sharky made on December 3rd, writing playing Stardew Valley for the first time with Pokey VT. Links in bio and the link below. And Lodi continues, as you can see, all of these females had experienced some sort of weird interaction with him. The fact he's showing off how women want him, he's mod to these big female streamers and tries to do some spectral acts or trying to. It's already weird as it is. I would have not wasted my effing time if these were made up. I don't got time in my life to do so, but I will keep updating these. But if he does delete his account and see the same behavior, do let me know and I'll work on it till then. You stay safe, my loves. And here we have a post by Onishiba VT or Raven writing, please take the time to read through this whole thread. Lodi is working hard to make a doc about him and all the people Pokey has been weird or creepy with. Some of you know he's my ex and was very weird and very creepy with me as well. Please spread the word and warn people about him. And Lodi on December 18th continues with more Anon posts, writing, Pokey's ex, 7th Anon. So I woke up a couple hours ago and see her message me. It's a lot to read, so I'll just post these screenshots. They had dated as I was having a convo with her, asking her questions about him. He used to go by the name of Gothy. He is controlling us. And again, by the way, like this 7th Anon could or could not be the previous creator that I just read their thread about, right? Because like some people have multiple exes, so I don't want you guys to make that connection there, because we don't know. So Anon writes, I'm sorry what happened to you, Lodi. I had past issues with Pokey or whatever he is going by now since I knew him as Gothy. I kind of scared of outing my experience with him because I used to date him and he harassed me for months from when we dated and after we stopped dating. He had a habit of deleting messages, so I don't have much evidence besides some of this stuff. So here we have a DM from supposedly Pokey writing, so you're in the other call with him, so are you not gonna call me? I'm still waiting, okay? And Anon7 says, then why ask me like this? You know that's very disrespectful. This was on July 30th, 2024. And Pokey says, okay, that gives me redacted vibes and it bothers me a lot. Anon says, question mark? And Pokey says, she did that all the time to me. It's like PTSD. Another screenshot where Pokey writes, I'm gonna type something, then read it all. I want you to say it's okay so I know you read it, okay? Then I'll delete it. That's weird. And Anon7 says, he's my friend. I'm obviously gonna talk about him. I get you have a problem with him, but he doesn't have to follow you or want to interact with you or even like you if he doesn't want to. Yes, I'm gonna talk to him because he's one of my best friends. He knew me more about me before I interacted with you. I hung out with him before you. You can hate him, fine, but I'm not gonna tolerate it. I'm being honest here. I'm not gonna tolerate you talking like that towards him. I don't have to call if I don't want to. I have that right. I need a breather, so I'm going to take a walk. Oh, this to me reads like a lot of red flags because this reminds me of my ex. Bro was toxic as hell. And Anon says he deleted his response, but pretty much he disrespected my friend during a call and on his message. Here he was comparing me to his ex when he was questioning me for calling a friend when I was with my mom, which I felt was disrespected. The ex before me at the time. And here's some more screenshots, DMs between Anon and Pokey, where Anon says, I'm very sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying when you question if I'm in a call with somebody else when I'm doing IRL stuff, I find it disrespectful. I didn't mean to sound like redacted vibes. I'm really sorry about it. And the name used was the other ex. And Pokey writes, I wasn't trying to, you're just thinking I am. I'm not doing anything since today, but since this morning, it's been like I've been talking to her on everything. You've been saying to me, my brain is messed up right now. Just call me when you're ready. Pokey DMs Anon, hey, why are you follow this person or what you're up to? Never mind, then guess you're not talking to me. And Anon says, sorry for not answering quickly. I'm a little busy right now. I thought they were cool, so I followed. And Pokey says, don't make that a habit and busy with what? Anon says, make a habit of following who I want? It's my Twitter. I'm not following too many people and I've been doing a clean out. I'm on a call with Redacted. And Pokey says, not what I mean. I mean, look before following somebody. Remember the last person you followed? I had to tell you. And then Anon says to Loti, he questions who I follow, which I thought was odd. Some more screenshots of Pokey being super controlling. Why you follow that person about the soda post? He made his account March 2024 and he's not known at all. What's up? And Anon says, because I can follow whomever I want. Yeah, he's not known, but it doesn't matter if they are known or not. Another DM from Pokey writing, by the way, after my name in your bio, after the star thing, had this double heart. Because okay, I'll do the same. I don't want people thinking shit. Okay, I'm already stressed enough. Can you do that one thing? Because I don't want people to think shit. Okay. And then Anon says, what are they going to think? And Pokey says, I'm going to do the same thing. Just please, okay? I'll tell you after. And Anon says, why can't you tell me first? You're the only one worrying about this. I won't add it to my bio. Yes, we can keep this business private, but you're the one overthinking about this. You can add it to your bio, but I'm not doing it. And Lodi continues, she's legit scared of this man and for a valid reason. As of that, that's the last screenshot from the victim. So again, have a good night. Some more screenshots. This is Anon to Pokey, and Anon writes, I just feel like I can't tell you how I feel without you having something to say and you commenting. I just wanted you to listen, but never mind, I'm just done. I'm tired. I wish you kept stuff involving him to yourself. I'm gonna be inactive on Discord, so I'm gonna move on from this topic. I'm gonna go to the mountains and walk around. And Pokey says, I said I was done. Why are you keeping on for? This is from Anon to Loti, and Anon says, I told him how I felt about everything on how he treats me. Anon says to Pokey, I wanted to let you know my feelings. I won't tell you how I feel anymore. Pokey says, are you for real right now? Why are you acting like this? It's not you. Now to Loti, Anon says, at this point, I was at my breaking point in this next message. Most of his stuff he said, he either deleted or said on call. And Anon says, I'm done. I'm not going to talk about the topics. I thought you would try to understand how I feel when I tell you how I feel. I tried my hardest to understand how you feel. But when I tell you how I feel, you tell me, quote, stop. Why are you dragging this on? End quote. When that truly hurts me because I trust you enough to tell you how I feel, but you just don't want to hear it. You act like you know me, but you like the version of me that you want to see. Yes, there's times I'm going to be upset, mad, sad, etc. I'm truly fed up and I'm going to cool off walking. And Anon to Loti says, I wish I had more evidence, but it's hard when he has a habit of deleting messages. So I can show more of the stuff he did to me so people can be aware of his behavior. I was also stupid enough to trust him to be my manager, which I regretted because I was very controlled and isolated. And Loti says, would you like me to keep your name private or would you like me to show this with Anon? Only if you want me to, and I'm so sorry. His name was Gothy, and they asked to be Anon. Lodi says, safer. Sweetie, what would he do to you if it wasn't? Because if he has threatened you, then I swear. And Anon says he has a couple of times. That's what I think it's safer as Anon. And I am so sorry to Anon. Like, domestic violence is not a joke, and threats to your partner, stuff like that is scary as fuck. And then Lodi says, all right, I'll respect that, but I got your back, remember that. Are you okay with me posting the screenshots? Anon says, I'm okay with it. And Lodi says, if you have any other friends with him being threatened or disrespectful, send them my way, and I'm so sorry he treated you like this. Anon says, it's okay. I just don't want him to disrespect more people like he did to me. I really want people to be aware of his behavior. Lodi says, how long did you date him if you don't mind me asking? And Anon says, I think 1.5 months. We barely dated, but he treated me like this, but the harassment was 3 months of it. And Lodi says, did you date him near October? And Anon says, we started dating April or May-ish, then broke up during July. Then I blocked him, I think, in the beginning of August because he messaged me about art with him and me that I deleted on Twitter because it made me feel uncomfortable. And that was during my hiatus on Twitter because I had a passing in my family, but he didn't really care and blew up at me. And to Anon, I am so sorry they had to go through this. Even if it was 1.5 months, like the manipulation and toxicity that being with a partner like that can have on you, it's a long lasting effect. I feel so bad for them. Pokey is disgusting for this type of behavior and they are so controlling. By the way, Raven is not the person in the Anon thread that we just read. They're not the same person. And then Lodi makes another post on December 20th writing, I know I need to be making a doc, but I took a bit of a mental health break. But Pokey has sent me a DM about his actions, but I'm not stopping for that reason. He's only sorry because he was caught and therefore it doesn't matter. He has blocked me and a few other female victims. And the DM reads, hi, this is not Pokey, this is not Gothy. This is me talking, Chris. The real me, not some name I made up. I want you to just and everyone else to leave me alone. I fucked up. I'm a dumb fuck up on everything. I'm sorry to Trixie, Raven my ex, Prylight my ex, Sharky the one I molded for, and etc. I think they mean to say modded. Everyone I did wrong with myself, my dumb self, you can all hate me, block me, etc. But I want to move on. 2025 is a new year for everyone, and that includes me. These past days, I have not been myself. I even lied to people saying I was at work, but no, I've been in bed this whole ass time thinking to myself, who the fuck am I? Who have I become? I was not this when I entered this community, nor do I like it. I'm sorry for who I ever talked to from October 23 up until now that I made uncomfortable in any way. I'll hold up to that, and it's on me to my grave. I just want to be left alone and move on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone. I apologize. Just please leave me alone. I can't take this anymore. Yes, I'm a fuck up. Yes, I'm not okay. I know that from now on, the hours I spend laying in bed thinking who the fuck I am because I'm not the same dude that came into this community. I just want this to be gone and for everyone to move on. Thank you for your time. Period. There was like 3 punctuations in this entire paragraph, by the way. So Lodi writes, nope, I don't care what type of name you're going for, but it does not excuse whatsoever. I'm going to keep going because you put a lot of women on uneasy and that's fucking ridiculous. You've been doing that shit for far too long. Half people feel sorry for you. And for what exactly? So no, I'm not dealing with that shit and I will continue to speak for them whether you like it or not. And Pokey says, I said what I said. I said to leave me alone. If you don't care, that's fine. Who really does? I just want to move on from this. That's all I want. I want everyone to leave me alone from this. I'm done with this. But you want to keep going, go ahead, keep doing. So I don't care, just leave me alone, okay? My mental can't take this anymore. I already know I'm a fuck up, okay? Just go on with your life and leave me alone. In all caps. By the way, this is pathetic, I have to say. It's always when they get called out. Like, these types of people will continue their fucked up behavior and will continue and continue and continue until they get called out. Bro has been on this shit, according to him, since October 2023. It has literally been a year and 2 months that you've been on this fuckery, okay? So you have had a year and 2 months to go and reflect on yourself and how much of a screw up that you've been, according to yourself. It was only when you got called out that you're now sorry. And you're not even sorry. You're just sorry that you're suffering consequences. This was a pathetic apology, right? I'm a dumb fuck up of everything, but it's so much like self-blame. Like he's painting himself as a victim. Like, woe is me, I'm a fuck up. Like, leave me alone now. Blah. What about taking accountability for everything that you've put everyone through? No accountability, nothing, just like a vague one sentence. Out of the entire 2 paragraphs we read, there was only one like broken sentence that was dedicated to some people that he hurt, and everything else was, woe is me, I'm a fuck. Bro is a raging narcissist with how he thinks the world revolves around him, how everything feels like it revolves around him. Woe is me, leave me alone, da. In my opinion, you don't get to be left alone from the consequences of your actions when you finally have to face them. That's cowardice, in my opinion. Trying to be like, oh, leave me alone, Be accountable for your actions and for the people that you hurt. You can't just sweep this under the rug and move on like you have done for so long with all the people that you've hurt. You hurt them, brush them under the rug and move on. Find somebody else to go leech off of. And he was doing this for so long. And now that everything has come out, oh, wow, woe is me, all the consequences. Oh, wow. I have no sympathy whatsoever. This is a pathetic apology. Not even an apology, by the way. Also, as a quote retweet to the apology that Loti posted from Pokey, Scully Boo quote retweeted it writing, what kind of fucking apology is that? Not the quote, I'm sorry now, leave me alone, end quote, type of shit he wrote. Doesn't really seem sorry, not at all. At PokeVT, you're saying sorry because you got caught. You going through shit isn't any kind of excuse to what you put others in. And Leon, or Leonard Mines, writes, I wasn't a victim, more of a dude caught in the crossfire lol. He was too scared to message me directly and preferred to go behind my back and talk to literally all my lady friends. And Lodi says, it seems that he doesn't talk to males whatsoever, so that just shows he's a ladies' man and only targets them, which is sad. And SheGullVT writes, is it bad I stopped reading the apology message because the self-pity was making me nauseous? Yeah. And here we have Trixie Treats, who made this post on December 21st, writing, I don't normally quote retweet these sort of things, especially since I prefer to retweet things so people in my community can be aware of people to block and keep out of their communities for their safety. However, I unfortunately have history with the man shown down below. I'm sure some of you remember this post back when I was a new VTuber last year on the night before Thanksgiving. Apparently, he is still active and is still being an overall creep to girls. I'll give an update later, but just thought I'd warn everyone real quick. So Trixie writes, hey everyone, I met Pokey through a stream of Ludmila's the other day and decided to follow him back to be nice. After a while, he started to show this really weird and pushy behavior towards me, which made me really anxious to the point of crying on voice call to my mod. I've been feeling unsafe due to him still liking my tweets and retweets, despite him making me uncomfortable the last time we talked. I confronted him about unfollowing me on both platforms before I blocked him, but unfortunately for me, he made a DM to contact Ludmila about me. Here's a screenshot of Pokey, who at the time went by Chris XD, liking one of Trixie's posts. He made an alt to contact Ludmila about that. Sorry, I got shaky hands right now. I thought last night would be the end of it and I could relax again, but I don't know if he'll ever stop right now. If he contacts you about me, please DM me immediately and report and block him. And that was in reply to Ludmila's post, who goes by Ludmila VT, and I hope I'm saying their name right. I'm not good at pronouncing names. I'm trying. And Ludmila writes, hello everyone, I don't make posts like these lightly, but as a member of my community is feeling unsafe, I feel it necessary. At Trixie Treats VT and at PokeTripXD, remember they used to go by PokeTrip, have both been members of my community, but the stalkerish behavior from PokeTrip to Trixie is not okay. Screenshots below. So here we have a DM from Pokey to what I believe is Trixie, right? Where Pokey says, didn't know if it was okay to DM, lol, just got your follow, but thanks, and if you're streaming tonight, I'll be there. And Trixie says, it's all right, thank you for the follow. No problem. I even got one from Mila. And Trixie says, hopefully see you at the stream. I hope you have a good day or night. And Chris says, I was going to your stream though, but guess you read my mind. Trixie says, oh shoot, I read too fast at times, but thank you so much for the follows. I really appreciate it. Pokey says, glad to support you. What time is the stream if I may ask? Kind of forgot after the post. And Trixie says, 12 a.m. EST. Pokey says, okay, but it's fun. You know what I look like and sound like. Thought I'd be a mystery, but I get to hear your voice, so it works out. I also have EST time, so your stream will start in my time. Looks like we're in the same time zone. Wait, you mean you know what I look like? Does that mean you saw my music post? Because now I'm embarrassed. And Trixie says, no, I assume that was your profile photo. And Pokey says, the profile photo is me and the post of singing is me. Just don't show face. It's easier to record with the phone. LOL. And Trixie says, oh no, I didn't see the post actually. And Pokey says, oh, maybe you could if you want. And Trixie says, sure, I might check it out later when I have time. And Pokey says, thanks, I hope you like them. I think I have 4, so I hope to get feedback on them. And then 7 hours later, hey, sorry if not talking that much in stream, like the one we were in before. If I said anything bad or weird and didn't know if you saw my message, I left after I sent it, but was wondering if I could ask you something as a friend, please. Thanks. And Trixie says, it's okay, you didn't talk much during the stream, don't worry about it, and sure. And Pokey says, okay, it's because I was emailing over and over again with someone, but it worked out okay, so I'm super excited, want to know. This is already weird to me from Pokey, because like, why is Pokey calling Trixie a friend when they literally just started DMing that day? It's just a way of like creeps to assert a higher level of relationship than what is actually there. And then I'm sorry, I'm gonna like skip back and forth because some of the screenshots are out of order. But Trixie says, want to know what? And Pokey says, you know how I wanted you to listen to my music? The guy I was emailing got me the okay to upload my music to SoundCloud and get paid for it, but I wanted to get your feedback on my singing before I did love. And Trixie says, I took a quick listen and you sing really well, in my opinion. You're really good at it. Also, to me, this is a huge red flag that Pokey is calling Trixie love when they started DMing this day. Bro is on some weird shit from the get-go. This was a year ago, by the way. He's still on it today. And Pokey says, thank you, Heart. Could you listen to the one I posted? It's the one that says goodbye. That's the one I'm gonna upload if that's okay. Trixie says, sure. Then where are they? Pokey says, thank you. On my page, it should be the second one. The first and second ones, right? They sound good. And Pokey says, yes, those. And thanks, but now I have to do computer stuff and that sucks. And then Trixie says, good luck. And then Pokey says, does that mean we're friends? Silly question, I know. 7 minutes later, he says, sorry, dumb question. And then 20 minutes later, he says, I know we are. We would not be talking if not. Sorry, my head is fried after today. Apologies. Not them like talking to themselves in the DMs, getting ignored. But again, this is like weird, bro. This is literally the shit that you DM to your crush when you're like 12 years old, just entering middle school, and you see a cute guy for the first time that you really like. Like, hey, does this mean that we're friends now? 10 minutes later, after you spend 10 minutes like finding the courage to reply. I mean, just ignore that question actually. Like, this is some middle school shit that the way Pokey is typing. Like, this is so cringy. And Trixie says, I'm sorry, but I don't know you well enough to consider you one. We just met today. And Pokey says, I mean, we could always start today. Sorry for asking up front about that. Trixie says, maybe in the future we could be friends, but as I've said, we only met today and are strangers to each other. And Pokey says, future okay, happy to do so. But hit it where it hurts. Internet friends are hard to get because you don't know that person. He or she could be an ass, a dick, or even a nice, sweet person. Who knows? But I respect it and sorry I wasn't trying to be friends. I wanted to, but the future brings happiness and hope it's not too long, Trixie. Which is a weird ass message. Trixie says, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm a shy person and it takes a while for me to get used to people. And Pokey says, never thought you were, Trixie. Sorry for making you think like that. It takes time to know somebody. I thought I'd give it a try. Is all. So respect you for your thoughts to get used to people. I feel bad now. Sorry for making things stressful for you. Trixie says, oh no, don't feel bad. Hopefully we'll be friends someday in the near future and can play games together in the future. I am just really shy and I'm getting used to people more. And Pokey says, I know, but damn, crying for a sec, like fuck. Did I say that to her? But now I'm better. Glad I live. Only LOL. Grown men cry, I guess. But hope we can play games, have fun, laughs, and smile with being true friends, and hope for you to not be shy so the world can see you smile IRL and your VTuber gremlin self. And Trixie says, don't cry, and I'll keep being a gremlin, okay? Calm down. No need to worry. And Pokey says, thanks. Just crying, like haven't cried since my dad passed away. But can I do something for you, please? Please, to make it up to you. I always wanted to do something for someone, so if I can I tell you, please. And Trixie says, you don't have to make it up to me. I just want you to cheer up and have a good night. This is so weird from Pokey, man. Like, what is this trauma dumping about your dad? I'm sorry their dad passed, but literally you met this person today. It like came up randomly. I could understand if it somehow came up in convo, but it literally did not. And then here's some messages Pokey has sent in Twitch chat with Pokey writing, this one, that one, cutest thing I heard tonight, LOL. I don't know, tell you later, lol. I'm just saying random stuff. Guess you're funny, to be honest. And then Pokey, so this is back to the DMs with Trixie. Pokey says, and this is a continuation, pretty please, just this once, won't ask again. Trixie says, depends what it is. And Pokey says, well, I never wrote my own song before, only covers. So please let me to show that friendships are strong, pretty please, with a little gremlin on top to grow our friendships I meet. And Trixie says, you can write your own song, but I'm not comfortable with it being about me yet. And Pokey says, I won't make it about it, just thought about friends, that's all. No one will know it's about you, just another song I did, that's all. And Trixie says, also have to go offline now. Good night. And this is so weird from Pokey. Not them like pushing this onto somebody. Look, making a song about somebody is pretty intimate. Doing it for a fucking stranger that you started DMing that day is crazy wild. Pokey says, promise. And Trixie says, please do not write about me. I am not comfortable with that. Pokey says, I wasn't going to. Just something I was going to come up with. Sorry if you got the wrong idea. You just gave me the idea to do a cover is all. And then 2 minutes later, sorry if you got uncomfortable. You just gave me the idea. Sorry. I apologize. I hope you're not mad. Then 10 minutes later. Sorry, Trixie, if I'm honest, I wasn't going to do one in the first place. I just got happy on what happened to dad with my music is all. Sorry. So hope you can forgive and hope we can still talk again. Sorry for this whole bad convo to go down. Didn't mean any of it. So have a good night and hope we can become friends like you said in the future, right? So sorry for dumb shit I have said. Talk to you again. And then Trixie says good night and then Pokey says night. Here's some more screenshots of Pokey in Twitch chat writing LOL. To answer your question from earlier, you say cute stuff and your friend is cheeky but funny. And then these are back to the DMs between Pokey and Trixie. Pokey says, hi, morning, hope we're cool. Anyways, have a good day, bye. And Trixie says, hey, the other night you made me really uncomfortable. Can you unfollow me? And Pokey says, allegedly, right? Sure, if you want him to. And sorry, I'm on his account checking the stuff he posts, but can I ask what happened with my brother if that's okay? And Trixie says, he made me really uncomfortable and anxious while being pushy. Unfollow me. Pokey, allegedly his sister, writes, girl, I did do you know when that happened or what day, sorry. And Trixie says, I'm going to put this plain and simple. Unfollow me or get blocked. Do not like any of my posts or retweets again. I don't care if you're his brother or Pokey himself. I want you to unfollow me. And Pokey allegedly says, look, I get you're sorry for the trouble. I'm only here to take the dumb shit he posts already. I did unfollow you, just relax, Kay. I didn't do anything. He fucked up, sorry. He can be a dumbass sometime, but he's still my brother. So in my own words, I apologize for him. This is scam as fuck, by the way. Like Pokey is out here on his account pretending a sibling is on his account. Pokey has a very notable way of typing of like abbreviating the hell out of words and using very, very poor grammar with a lot of misspellings and no punctuations. And the alleged sibling types exactly like him. Sorry, this is not I'm not trying to flame any of y'all if you guys have spelling errors, whatever. He has a very notable way of typing, and this alleged quote unquote sibling types just like him. No punctuations, anything. And when I'm reading these messages out loud to you guys for this YouTube video, I'm like summarizing and like changing a little bit of the words so that it actually makes some coherent sense to say out loud, because some of the stuff is just straight not sentences. And then Ludmila writes, I was messaged by an alt of his today claiming that it was his sister and he wanted to talk about something that happened. I then confronted him directly about it. The account was gone and he claimed the account was doing weird stuff. But as soon as I sent this, the account poof. And here there is a DM to Ludmila from this account called Moon Pie. And the bio says, hello, follow my brother Poke Trip for sick music. Which, like, I'm not gonna believe that for 1 second. I have a twin brother. I don't love him that much. I'm not gonna make a fan account for him or whatever he's doing. He's not gonna make a fan account of me either, right? That's not what we do. Maybe you have a sibling relationship like that, but this alleged sister writes, hi, can we have a talk about something that happened from somebody in your community? Hope to have a girl-to-girl talk. Only want to make your community better, Ludmila, if that's okay. And sorry if you don't do DMs, really wanted to tell you what happened. Ludmila says, can I help you? By the way, again, this alleged sister types just like him. It is straight run-on sentences with abbreviated words, no punctuations whatsoever, and a lot of like misspellings and grammar errors. Like, it literally reads, hi, can we have a talk about something that happened from someone in your community? Hope to have girl-to-girl talk. Only want to make your community better, Ludmila, if that okay. And Ludmila confronted him, writing, care to explain why your alt is messaging me with stuff like this? And Pokey says, okay, I don't have an alt account. Yesterday that person followed me and started to weird shit do again, he types with poor grammar. Followed me and started to do weird shit do I block then, but now I reported them, so hope. So yeah, that is not their sister. But sorry, let me read this properly. So Pokey says, okay, I don't have an alt account. Yesterday that person followed me and started to do weird shit, so I blocked them. But now I reported them, so hopefully they get deleted, or however that stuff works. Sorry if you thought I was doing some bullshit. I would never do that to somebody, promise. I do have a sister, but I don't know her ex account, and I doubt she gave it to me. And I doubt she'd give it to me, so sorry if I did something wrong that you thought I did. And then Ludmila writes, at Trixie Treats, feel free to tell how you feel about this. I'm so sorry this happened. So that is a whole long-winded example of Pokey's bad behavior, just being weird as fuck on full-fledged display. And this is Pokey's account under the handle PokeyVT. By the way, don't go send hate to them, by the way, because it will only make us as bad as him. Just block, move on. Bro is weird. And the bio, bro, let's just look at the bio. Oh my god. But his bio literally reads, starting over. New year, different me. New mindset. The one thing that stands between you and your dreams is the will to try and belief that it is actually possible. That's what he wrote, by the way. This is crazy from somebody who has hurt so many people. Lodi also posted a screenshot about that like an hour ago, writing, I swear. And then Pyrai writes, he did it again. Deactivated to run away and thinks we don't notice he activated his account again. Al Sinks writes, new year, new me. Bro, it's less than 24 hours since the previous account. It is currently December 22nd. We're not even at Christmas yet. And Raven writes, are you kidding me? This dude. And here we have a post also by Chavalita, who goes with the handle Kit Pent, writing, excuse me, sir, I think you have me confused with somebody else at PokeTripXD. I just showed you this to show you a screenshot of how his profile used to look like, right? With the handle PokeTripXD by the alias Gothy, writing 25 Demon Wolf at your service, hell plus escape. The reason why I'm just showing you this is because when people have multiple aliases, sometimes they come back on their previous alias. So I just wanted to show you this in case he rebrands into PokeTrip with this gothy brand or something like that. And then I've personally found that one of the anons have come up stating that it was them, but I feel like for safety reasons, I'm just not going to put that in the video. I don't want any harm or something coming towards them. But that is everything that has come out as of now. If more information comes out, I'll link it down below in the comment section. And if a lot of stuff comes out, I'll make like a part 2 video. I just typically don't do part 2s because I don't want to give people like this more attention, which is why I try to like err away from doing that. But I'll have all updated relevant info linked down below. So I will also have all of the victims linked down below as well. So please go check them out and show them some love because this guy was really fucked up. And I'm so sorry that he has sunk his claws and affected so many people. I am so sorry to them for everything they had to go through. But if you do like this video, I appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And I do stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. I won't be streaming till 2025 because I'm gonna go home to visit my family for Christmas, like the day after. So thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you guys in my Twitch streams or in another video.